What's good? It's your girl Francine. Today is Saturday because, look, life sometimes is hard. You can't predict it. So that's my answer. If you want to ever know more in depth about what's going on in my life, just follow me on Instagram, even though I'm not really great at posting on there either, but I'm going to get better at it. We're not talking about me because we are talking about a movie that I was suggested to watch, Judas and the Black Messiah. And if you can tell, I'm not as peppy and preppy as I usually am because I do every other movie review, or this is not a movie review. Let me start by saying that. We're going to get into why in a minute. Like I do in every other movie review, I try to watch the movie and then come right out and start doing my review. That was not a good plan for this movie. That was not a good plan. Like I said in my Frame and Brittany video, that one gave me a hard time, so I had to get some wine. This one, we need something stronger than that, okay? Because, boy, was this a hard but necessary movie to watch. I'm gonna address the elephant in the room, which is the back. If you have watched my channel before, I tried to decorate. It's kind of ghetto. We gonna make it work, but I didn't have the time to change it before I recorded my video, so you just gonna get this ghetto look. But yeah, I watched Judas and the Black Messiah, and I could not do a review. I have notes. I write my notes out because I'm old. I have notes, and about halfway through this movie, I realized I can't do a full movie review like I do with every other movie, where I go like blow by blow. This is what happened, this is what happened, this is what happened. Because the first half of this movie is kind of setting up everything, like most movies, right? The second half of this movie, I don't really know if I can put into words. So what I'm gonna say is, whatever I say in this movie, whatever you get from what I say in this movie, if I can't articulate it properly, how big of an issue it is, you need to watch this movie. You don't know somebody that got an HBO Max account, you better find one. You better look up someone's password, okay? Because you need to watch this movie, period, end of story. There is no excuses. There is no, well, you know, I don't really like movies like this. I don't care. Watch this movie because there's so many layers to this movie, and one of the things that almost kept me from watching this movie is that it's 2 hours long. And sometimes when you see a 2 hour long movie and you like, you know damn well this movie don't need to be 2 hours. Yes, every part of this movie is necessary because there's so many little nuanced things that you realize down the line of the movie that are like, yo, like, so the way I'm gonna do this, I am going to talk about the main things I took away from this movie, the reasons you need to see this movie, and my feelings about this movie. And y'all not gonna get the ha 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 funny jokes, the sarcasms in this one, because I'm sorry if that's what you come for. That's not what we getting today, because someone suggested this movie and I had to watch it, so now I'm going to let you know how I feel, okay? Not just I had to watch it, I should have watched it, and I'm happy I did. But anyway, let's get into it. Okay, so let's kind of talk about the main points of this movie, my main takeaways, right? The number one takeaway, I think, once you realize what goes on in this movie, is that if the police offer you a deal, don't take it. It's never gonna be worth it. It's never gonna be worth it, okay? If you know anything about the story, and again, this is, I didn't say this, but this is based on true story, right? So these people are real people. Fred Hampton is a real person. Bill O'Ryan. I mean, he is a real person, but Bill O'Neal is a real person. All these people are real people, and if you know the stories of these people, you know what's going to happen. But seeing it makes you think, why the? So, just to give you the gist, Bill O'Neal is played by Lakieth Stanfield, and he gets an offer from the police, and in exchange for not doing 6 years of time, I need you, if you watch this movie, to remember throughout this movie, he only has to do 6 years. 6 years. He exchanged 6 years for all of this that he does in this movie. I've never been in jail. I've seen movies, I've heard stories. Never been. I know it can be very traumatic. I think this might have been worse. I really think this might have been worse. So, you know, don't always trust that they have your best interest at heart. Not saying all cops are liars, not saying don't trust all police. I have police officers in my family, so don't come at me for that. But I'm saying their job isn't to make sure you are taken care of. Their job is to make sure their job is taken care of. Remember that, okay? Number two, some people do their job and don't realize how horrible the people who do the job with them are. Because again, I say that he gets caught up in he tries to steal a car, and there's an FBI agent that's like, look, all we need you to do is infiltrate the Black Panther Party, figure out some stuff. And it seemed like the main guy, who was played by Jesse Pillman, which I realized halfway through is the guy from Breaking Bad who shoots that kid. I was like, dang, you just grind me all around. Anyway, yeah, I was wondering where I knew him from, and I was like, oh, Breaking Bad. See, I'm trying to make it funny, okay? But he originally, you could kind of tell he just doing his job. Like, he's an FBI agent. He has to do what he's got to do. He's been told by his higher ups that these people are a terrorist organization. And eventually in this movie, he very much realizes that it's not just his job. This is a game, a vendetta, if you will. And they are not going to stop until they get what they want. And once he realizes it, I guess he decides, okay, I'm gonna go with it, because he continues. So I can't even feel bad for him. That's number two. Number three, don't trust everybody. Don't trust everybody. Bill gets very much infiltrated into this Panther movement, and this party gets very close to Fred Hampton. And he already, like, maybe it's because I knew he was a rat, but he gave me suspicious behavior immediately. There's a part in this movie where things are going on and he ends up believing when there's a big thing going on in this movie. That would have been my biggest red flag. Like, where the hell were you when all this was happening? But I digress. Don't always trust everybody. Sometimes there's a rat right under your nose. Also, one of the biggest things I took away from this movie is that I'm not doing enough. I'm not. This movie came out. This movie is about the 60s. This is about the revolution, the Black Panther Party movement that eventually dissolved in, I think, the 70s, they said. But this is still a very necessary situation to talk about. There are still a lot of things going on. And I try to give to charities, I give to GoFundMes, I spread the word on social media, I volunteer occasionally. I've kind of died down with everything going on with COVID, but I volunteer. I've tried to do stuff with the Georgia Justice Project, which helps people who are incarcerated when they get out of jail, helps them with reparation and stuff like that. But I still don't feel like I'm doing enough. Like, this really will motivate you to be like, especially if you're black, if you're a black person, this will motivate you to be like, yo, there's way too many parallels here of what's going on now. And though the framing of the system that happened at that time may have changed a little bit, it's still here. It is still here. It's still 100% systematically in play right now. And to think that we almost could have done something about it, because the next one I'm going to say is, they know that unifying is dangerous. They know that. One of the biggest things that happens in this movie that I am going to talk about is they become a rainbow party, right? They boldly go to this redneck, I think it's called the Patriot Party, because I thought it was a Klan meeting at first, and I was like, oh, y'all about to die. But it was the Patriot Party. It's this old, a bunch of poor white people in Chicago who are fighting, and they also were getting pestered by the police, probably at a less degree, but they also were. And they come to this meeting and they're like, look, we fighting the same fight. They just don't want you to know it. Yes, we look different. Yes, we've been raised up different. Y'all may not have been the slaves, but y'all were also the sharecroppers, and kind of letting them know, look, they were never trying to get you to get nowhere either. So why are we fighting each other? And they all unified, and they were like, oh no, see, no. We can't have that happen, because if that happens, then they can come against us, and then they're all together. So, and that's what he was trying to say. Like, he had the gang, the Crowns, who you know, were like, why are you up in our streets, you know, whatever. And they unified. Like, they realized very fast that this was not just a black people talking about what they gonna do. This was like, we are going to change some ish, and if you don't like it, we don't care. We don't care. Now granted, I'm not 100% in with everything that the Black Panther Party stands for. I will not give my body to the revolution. I will not. No ma'am. If you need me to like look up some stuff or get some people out of jail, I'll do that, but my body is not for the people. It's not. Okay. And you know, there's some problematic things that they may have done and said, but the message as a whole, I 100% agree with. At the end of the day, one of the quotes that was said in the beginning of this movie is, war is politics. And that really struck me, because he said, war is the violent version of politics, and politics is the peaceful version of war. Essentially saying, that politician that's sitting here saying that they care about people, how did they get here? Who funded them? What did they okay? What have they signed off on? Really think about what politics is. I was originally a political science major. I wanted to be a politician. That was the first thing I was going to do before I ended up going to law school. And immediately I realized politics is too much of a game that I don't want to play. And this movie really struck on that. Like, this is not just we're trying to infiltrate a organization. This is we're trying to destroy the people in this organization, destroy the message of this organization, destroy the things that they are doing for the community. They had a free breakfast program. They were trying to start a medical clinic. They were trying to help people. Yes, I don't agree with everything that they were doing, but there was never a doubt in my mind they cared about people. And a lot of times, politics can't or won't think about people. I mean, we have clearly seen that this week with everything going on right now. And if you're in Texas, I'm giving you all my prayers. I've donated to plenty of organizations. I don't know what else I can do. I've checked on all the people I know in Texas. Thankfully, they are all okay. But really think about, especially in the last 2 years, think about what would happen if we all as a people decided we're sick of this. We're sick of this shit. You only gave us 2 stimulus checks and are barely thinking about giving us 3. We're sick of this shit. You don't want to give us health care during a pandemic. We're sick of this. You want to shoot people out in the street and get away with it. We're sick of it. We're sick of it. This is not something we have to take. Now, I'm not sitting here trying to revolutionize anybody. If anybody is looking at this video and saying, Francine is trying to build an insurrection, that's not what I'm doing, okay? I'm not doing that. But I am saying that this movie very much is telling you straight to your face, this is what happens sometimes when good intentions aren't really what the people in power want. And even if you're not black, I feel like you need to watch this movie. If you're a white person, if you're a person who sat there and said, oh,
George Floyd deserves to die,
you need to watch this movie. Maybe you won't get the message, so maybe not, but still watch it. Okay? If you're a person who's like,
I just don't understand why black people are rioting,
watch this movie. Please. It's not about the one incident. It is the system as a whole. And it is infuriating. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. I cried watching this movie. The ending of this movie, if you are a person who gets really emotional about like this, will either get you really angry or really sad. Because it's sad. It is sad. Like I said, I usually watch the movie and come in here. I couldn't do it. I had to get me some whiskey and watch me a happy little YouTube video to make me laugh, and then I record this video. And I had to redo my makeup because I started crying. Girl, with the whole thing. But that is my thoughts on Judas and the Black Messiah. I mean, it is very much showing and very much telling of what happens in history when people actually try to change stuff. And really, yeah, granted, maybe not the best means always, but still the right message. And don't get it twisted, I'm not saying like I'm a complete Black Panther right now. But, and also this is what it shows when a person's selfish. Because if you watch the end of this movie and if you know what happens to William O'Neal eventually, you realize he could not live with himself. That's all I'm gonna say. He cannot label himself with what he did. Because some parts of this movie you could tell he was the snitch in him and the Black Panther in him were fighting. There's a lot of people out there who think that they're doing the right thing by, yeah, they're a bad organization, or yeah, you know, I'm not gonna support that. But you know, deep in your heart, nah, this ain't good. This ain't it. But yeah, this is the video. I could probably sit here and talk even longer. I feel like this is a whole video in and of itself, just talking about systematic racism and how, you know, change can't ever really happen as long as we are allowing certain things to happen. And this is a very good movie. 10 out of 10. The first 10 out of 10 movie I watched so far. I don't think I've seen a movie this good in a minute. If this movie doesn't get nominated for an Oscar, it's racist. Everybody in this movie was good. Like, I think I said this, but Lakieth Stanfield at the end of this movie, after shooting this movie, he said he had to go to therapy. Understandable, because it's a lot. It is a lot. And especially if you're not that type dude doing what he did in this movie, I can see how it can make you messed up. So watch the movie. It's on HBO Max. And if you like this video, hit the like button. If you don't like this video, it's all good. You can dislike it. You can tell me in the comments why you don't like it. You can tell me in the comments why you do like it. You can tell me in the comments how your day was. What's up? How you doing? I'm not doing that great, but I got this. So we're gonna see where it goes. If you haven't subscribed already, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. If you got any suggestions on other things that I should watch, other things that I should talk about, other things that I should listen to, because I also do music reviews. If you haven't watched those, you know, Wu-Tang, okay, I did that one already. But yeah, with that being said, I will see y'all on Monday. Definitely, I pre-recorded my Monday video already, so you will be getting a Monday video, okay? So sorry. All right, bye.